Welcome, agents, to strain 87-DAB of the Zero Point Report, the #1 broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, November 16th, 2023, and I am Ocho, one of the hosts for this evening. With me tonight, we have Teuton Waffle.
How you doing?
Doing okay. Hanging out. Not sick, which is good. Well, hopefully
That's always a good thing.
It's always that time of year. And we have Jimmy the Rabbit.
Hey,
Who's also streaming on his own channel, going on right now on his free to play challenge account.
Yep.
And you're pretty close. Last I checked, you were pretty close to hitting E17.
No.
Relative? No?
No.
No.
Well, you're closer than I am, for sure.
Yeah. So just yesterday, I hit 1520.
Okay.
Which sounds close, but it's still 180 IP off.
Okay. All right.
And
I guess now the IP is coming super slowly, so
I actually gained 12 IP last night.
So maybe not. Okay.
That's probably the last time that's going to happen, because as of last night, everything is legendary. That includes talismans, weapons, glyphs, signets. Everything is made it to red.
Oh, so there's not going to be any big jumps.
Everything is 4 pip. That includes talisman. Well, weapons aren't, but they don't affect your IP anyways. The pip doesn't affect the IP on weapons. So talismans and glyphs are all imbued. They're all 4 pip.
Oh,
so there is no more fusing. There is no more making another pip to gain IP that way. It's purely everything's red. Get it to max level. That's.
Okay. So maybe it doesn't
all
become.
That's left is the grind.
It's gonna come a little slowly now.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised. Even
12 is a
even
huge
without.
Jump, though.
Yeah, even with it, because I was started last night at 15:08 and I ended at 15:20, and I was like, holy shit. But I got my last signet from Mythic to red, and I got an imbuer. My last imbuer done. So the last glyph went from 3 pip to 4 pip. So those 2 things happened last night, as well as dungeons and scenarios and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna live inside of Seek and Preserve now.
That's it.
Well, so if you don't lose any survivors, you get a blue chest. The blue chest is 1 level higher than your current level, so it means I'm getting E16 distillates out of it.
Right.
And you get guaranteed 4 glyph, 1 weapon, 1 talisman. Unlike dungeons where I could theoretically get a dungeon and get all weapon distillates, which do nothing for me IP wise. My weapons are leveled. There's no that doesn't help me. I can level a different weapon, but that doesn't help me gain IP, right? So
yeah.
And I also need to level my glyphs to gain IP as well. So I'm pretty sure that the move now is quite literally just live inside of Seek and Preserve.
Yeah, is this farmed that out for what, a couple days or weeks?
A couple 100 hours.
Yeah. So
I will be genuinely surprised if I hit E17 without breaking 1,000 hours. I'm at 721 hours right now.
721? For some reason,
yeah, 721 hours. I'll be surprised if I make E17 before I break 1,000 hours. Genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get there eventually. I'm just saying, I think the normal amount to be happy with is going to be something I gained 2 IP tonight or something like that, right?
Yeah, I was once you hit the 12, it was if you have every day you're getting now 12, it's you'd be finished in less than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's gonna be more I'll be lucky to get to 1 or 2, maybe even 3, right? Like, it's gonna... Like, if I... Let's see, if I gained 2 IP no, say I gained 3 IP a stream and my average stream length is 3 hours, that's 1 IP an hour. You know?
Mm-hmm.
1 IP an hour with 180 IP left is 180 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it could be something like that. Mm-hmm. For the rest of it. Not bad though.
Dude, they won't. Okay, I know. I thought they didn't let me I hate the stupid spectral possession shit in scenarios so much. It's the only insta fail. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have you done like SNPs with the guys getting
It's
possessed?
been a while since I've done it, but that's the one where they basically like, yeah, take one of your group and have them turn against everyone else.
Yeah, so like the thing is that guy doesn't even have to die. As soon as he's turned, you lost a survivor. So
Yeah.
like, and if you don't save all 10, you don't get the blue chest at the end, which is the whole point of doing this shit. It's the whole point that makes it worth it. So
I just find it funny that basically, like, now the path for you at the end is basically seek and preserve scenarios. Like, those were like one of the first scenarios that they released, and now it's like that's the key. That's the real.
I mean, it was back in the day as well. Honestly, that part's not any different. Like back before, like when E10 raid was the max thing. Like, what everyone had to do was live inside of Seek and Preserve for, like, 3 days straight because you needed a maxed legendary hit glyph in order to not glance in E10 New York raid. So everyone just had to live inside of there.
Like the preparing us for Tokyo. And it's just like, nope, just keep going. It's just the best way.
Yeah, I mean, I think in theory, maybe for just leveling glyphs, occult defense is better, right? Like if I was done with my talismans, then I think then occult defense would be better. But for right now, because my talismans aren't done, like I want that talisman distillate. Like I need that. So if at some point I'm done with my talismans, then OD becomes the better thing to do. OD is also like the best thing to do in the beginning, obviously, because you can have someone carry you right past your level, and you
way
can
past your level.
Yeah, you can just fucking rank up like crazy. So it's like OD is like the best for the beginning and the end, but I think there's like a midway point where like S&P is just better, especially if you need weapon or talisman distillates, because you would get both, right?
Yeah.
But if all you need is glyph,
just
then
all
yes,
around.
OD.
Yeah.
OD is the best if all you need is glyph.
I say, but all around for everything else. Yes, seek and preserve.
OD is also really good if you need APSP, because you just end up killing, especially if you're doing like wave 33, you just kill so many ads. I remember like when that's how I got all my capstones and stuff. Was that because we just do like wave 33 and there's so many ads. Like I would get 50 APSP during the thing, like during the wave, and then I'd hit Ridge and Volcano, and like while I was spinning, I would spend my stuff so I didn't overcap.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like how fast you gain APSP in there. At that level.
You just have to keep capping as you go.
Yeah.
So Vommer points out, why does the stream say you need to activate your Windows? Huh, Waffle?
Well, that's because I replace pretty much everything on my computer, and Windows does not like you doing that.
No, it doesn't.
And I haven't got around to getting rid of that
the
yet.
OEM software.
Yeah. I haven't got around to that yet. It's like a conversation piece on a your table.
Oh, so it's like your login rewards.
That's right.
What? Everybody keeps talking about these login rewards. This isn't Fortnite or Overwatch where you get like something.
Every time you log
You
in,
get login rewards.
Like
What are you talking about?
What?
You don't? I do.
No, we don't.
You're just playing
But
the
is it
game
gonna
wrong.
be recording?
I'm playing the game. Shut up. I mean, sometimes you log in and it's like, hey, you still maintained your what is the
endorsement level.
Endorsement level. Dude,
Yeah.
I have been endorsement level 5 for like years now.
I fluctuate between 3 and 4.
Once I hit 5, I've like never dipped down. I've been endorsement level 5 for so long.
Endorsement levels don't really matter anymore. No one does that.
Actually, they do that more than ever.
Yeah, I know I do it, but other people don't.
No, like even fucking like high level players are starting to do it now because it affects what the fuck?
Well, it's XP that you get.
Something.
Yeah, you get like 50 XP.
Yeah, like they made it so like when you do endorsements, like it affects shit. So people are like, oh wait, I actually want to do that now.
Yeah, wait, these might be important, especially if they tie them to some sort of game mechanic.
Yeah, that's what they did. They're like, oh, people aren't endorsing. Hey, if you endorse, then this shit happens, and and then it just becomes habit. And that's honestly what it is for me. It's habit. You know what I mean? Like you just match ends. You pick the two people you didn't hate, and you endorse it. Because I think your endorsement level isn't just a reflection of how many people endorse you. I think it's also a level of how much you endorse, right?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So it's just basically right at the end of every match. You're like, yeah, they didn't suck. They didn't suck. There you go.
Yeah. Or they sucked the least. They were the least annoying of everyone. You're all the reason I lost. Because that's how the game works.
Yeah, you're all the worst, but you were the least worst. So there you go.
You at least were nice about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Volmer,
when I said hi in the beginning, you said hi back. That's really all it takes.
But Volmer, it shows my hacker man level. That's why.
Didn't scream a racial slur into the microphone, so I endorsed you. That's where the bar is.
Pretty high bar, that.
I don't even have anything for that, for the hacker voice.
For keeping in the Windows activation in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is when you take a screenshot, when you take like a game screenshot, will it say that in the corner?
Yep.
Yeah? Of every screenshot?
Actually,
no.
Hold on. Let's.
Oh, that'd be my nightmare.
Mission journal. What is that?
Oh my god! I heard the. I was like, "What? What's going on? I'm being attacked."
The Steam overlay screenshot.
Yeah.
Activity. No.
That's a Steam screenshot, not an in-game screenshot. It's true. It's true. Secret World does make its own.
Yeah, but this is Steam.
My issue is that although you can do your own in-game, they all come out as PNG.
You can always change them. Yeah.
They take up
gotta-
way too much goddamn space.
Let's
Well,
convert
they're
'em.
higher quality. They're just high quality PNGs.
Yeah.
Do I still have screenshots from like TSW, like huge folders of them.
Oh, but now I see. Wait, in the options,
Can you
Where,
change
does
it?
where do they
you can't
save
have to
it?
take JPEG screenshot. When did they add that?
Oh, it's been there forever.
That has not been there forever.
Yeah, you have like
Wait.
Vollmer said, there was 2 hotkeys. There was like one for the PNG and then one for the JPEG. Or yeah,
I feel like that has not been there forever. It has not been there forever.
It's
No
been
way.
there
in
forever.
TSW?
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Was it there in
Since- yeah.
TSW?
yep. TSW.
Because I set it to, I always set my screenshot button to F12. That's like the button that normally is either F12 or print screen is the two that I use to take screenshots. And it has mine listed as F12. But if I would have saw JPEG, I would have wanted the JPEGs instead. Now, if I was doing stuff to the pictures themselves, if I was like, putting them through Photoshop, running them through this, running them through that, yeah, I'd want the PNGs. But or wanted to take something specific from it, But other than that, I take so many. No, I want them all to be JPEG.
Blasphemy.
So I just changed it back. I just put, Control F11 is what I have for just the regular, the PNG, and F12 as the regular screenshot. I was like, how was I getting to that now? Drives me
10
insane.
years later.
10 years later.
I said it's only because I take so many screenshots and they take up so much space. And if I try to store them on like my Google Drive, it takes up so much space.
That's okay. You just get an account in your kid's name and then put them there.
That's really what I should do.
Whoa! I got an agent.
Nice.
Oleski Volkov.
Okay.
Crit power, damage on critical hits.
Screenshots.
Dude, this is the third agent I've gotten in in a week.
Actually, it does not have the watermark there.
No? We take the
No.
screenshot? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been right there. So there's no watermark.
There is no watermark.
Yeah, always like
There is no spoon. I was just curious how deep the watermark went, because it is gonna obviously be on our stream. So it's good. It's a good question.
1521. We gained 1 IP tonight.
There you go.
Ooh. And an intricate stalwart glyph? It's just raining stuff tonight.
it's rain and stuff. Hallelujah! It's raining stuff.
That's what she said.
Amen. So let's see. I've got over 1,000 files in my Secret World Legends folder, and it's at 2.16 gigabytes. And let's say,
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump them up.
let's say
pump 'em up.
Star Trek Online. I've got 1,825 screenshots, and it's only taking up 400 megabytes.
Honestly, I couldn't possibly tell you, because they're spread across like 5 hard drives, and both my kids' machines are my old machines, and those have some as well.
Mhm.
Like I legitimately no fucking clue.
You don't know how many gigabytes of
Whoa.
screenshots I have in my current Secret World Legends folder. I'll say, but that's just Secret World. I have since I play so many MMOs. That's why if they were all PNG, I wouldn't have. They would have to be on so many different.
Well, like we said, we just convert them to JPEGs.
Yeah, but see, then they don't always. You need to get a good converter and one that actually will keep all the metadata attached to it, and those aren't always available. And like they don't like doing that, and then so they put stuff out of order. And I've tried. It's not the funnest thing.
118 gigs, Bulmer.
Okay, all right. Just for Secret World.
Yeah, I probably have more than that. I mean, if you figure a single install, like without a bunch of screenshots, a single install is like close to 40 gigs.
Yeah,
I have like on this computer alone, I think I have like 5 installs, like 5 separate installs. I mean, so base that's like 120 gig just for the installs. Never mind the screenshots.
This is why I don't mind.
Those installs are mostly copies, so like half those clients also have all the screenshots. Because I don't bother sorting out which one is which. They all just have the screenshots on it.
Just start investing in some like cloud storage.
So that's usually where I throw all mine. So no, yeah, but between all the games I've now amassed 21,000 screenshots. And They only take up a total of 12.5 gig. See that? That's where I'm okay with. I haven't had to open up any other storage. That's why I'm okay with JPEG. I'm okay because usually I just throw them on as like, I don't know, desktop background or something. I don't do much besides just look at them from time to time. When I jump into a game again, I haven't been in this game for a while. I'll go through the screenshots and be like, "What the hell was I doing?" And be like, "Oh, okay, all right. I get, it gives you an idea."
I just put them like on a rotating screensaver.
So I haven't tried jacking up my settings to 4 in a long time, but there are some Discord conversations going on, and so I tried the 4 gig patch thing. I'm testing that out tonight. So far, I haven't crashed. And I tried jacking all the settings to 4. Okay. I don't know that I've ever seen the water reflections in Tokyo. That's kind of crazy.
I'm naked.
I was gonna say, yeah. Why are you naked?
Because my glamour turned off.
And you're just totally naked under the glamour?
Yeah, I guess so.
Didn't the launcher reset the patch? I don't think so. That's a fair question. I mean, it could have.
See, but if you're joining us tonight in chat, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. How you doing? How you doing out there? Hope you're doing well. We're here to talk about the news surrounding Secret World, which mostly wasn't necessarily Secret World news, except for 2 pieces here, one of which Jimmy was doing. You got through your 24-hour stream for Extra Life Day, November 3rd to 4th, by going through not just Secret World, but some other Funcom MMOs, Anarchy Online and Age of Conan Unchained.
Yes, I did. And I was
fairly solidly
surprised. Too. Huh?
You got through it fairly solidly too.
I'm sorry. You sound surprised that I solidly got through the games. Is that what you're saying?
No. Just saying you got through the end of 24 hours and it was like, all right, yeah, like I
think I did.
It seemed more. You say 24 plus is what I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did 26. I think by the time it was all done.
Yeah.
I put it on the forums. I don't remember the exact, but I want to say it was something like 26. But yeah, it was Because
You weren't
we
just
spent
totally
a good
gibbering
deal
by
of
the end
time
of it,
on
which is
the.
what I would be.
We did a good deal of time on the raffle. Like, I was like, oh right, I was gonna raffle away prizes, and I think that took like over an hour by itself. that took a hot minute. But I would say I probably liked Anarchy Online the least.
Not a surprise.
But partly because of its control scheme, I did manage to get my controller set up to work with it, sort of. But its control scheme is even wonkier than like Secret Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then additionally, like I would say probably even a bigger impact than that is like you can tell there's story there, right? Like Funcom doesn't slouch in the story as far as like whatever's written in there is going to be good. Like that's just an expectation now, and I've yet to be let down in that regard. However, the way the game is set up isn't like there is no like storyline. There's no story beat. You know, there's like a starting little mission, and you get to this thing, and then I don't know, go find a place that gives you missions. Like it's super. It's back when they did shit that way.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, they don't hold your
more
hand.
of a product of its time more than anything else. That's very
exactly.
original EverQuest.
Well, listen, yeah. I don't need hand holding, but I do like this, like, because there's a difference between like hand holding.
Well, it gives you directions where to go. It's like, yeah, go here for this, or the Zorgs are invading.
I don't even mean like that. I just mean like, tell me what's going on. Like there's like nothing tells you like why would I. There's two different groups that you can go do missions for, and it gives you both missions at the same time to go there and get missions from those guys. Nothing tells me like what their motive is, like why would I join one of them and not the other, like it's very convoluted how you get to them. Like the whole like how you travel to them was an archaic sort of figure out how this shit works in and of itself. Now, based on some of the dialogue I did run into and some of the stuff, I think there is more there, right? There's some kind of like, how are people ending up here without IDs like you are? And why do some people keep showing up? And what is with the Corpo guys and the Rebellion guys? And there's picket lines. Like, there's some kind of world story happening around, but literally nothing is like, you know, oh, you can read this about this, or this is why you might want to do this. It's completely like, you have amnesia and got dropped in a town that gives shit about you, doesn't care. Go figure out what world you're on. Like that's kind of the idea. So I don't know. I don't consider
so not a whole bunch of motivation, essentially.
Yeah. You know, it's weird when I'm thinking like, you know, Dark Souls has a more direct story than Anarchy Online does.
Yeah.
like at least that thing was like, hey, even the first one was like, you can ring the bell up there or down there. At least like you need to ring both of them to progress, you know, figure out where to go. But at least there was some kind of narrative. There's people you could talk to that had something to say that was creepy and weird, and then you kind of went exploring and figured it out. Whereas this just felt like super like almost exclusionary. Like if you know what you're doing, you've already played the game for years, then yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's like expansions and a bunch of stuff to do, and I think you do learn more about the story like as you go. But as a new person dropped in, it's like the worst parts of Amnesia.
Oh yeah,
we got a huge leak.
Well, just to put it in a timeline here, Ultima Online came out in 1997, and it's one of the one of the first. I'm not gonna say the first because there's questions there, but it was one of the first bigger MMOs that released, Ultima Online. Then came it, and that was 1997. Then came EverQuest in 1999. Then came Anarchy Online in 2001. Then Star
Oh
Wars
yeah,
Galaxies 2003, and all of them basically were of the here's a world, just go do shit in it. Like they were basically all of this. Yeah, nothing was really like, there was barely any questing, barely. It was basically, here's a world, we're gonna populate it with people, here are all your skills, just go, just play.
just do things. Yeah.
Yeah, just do things.
Just do it.
So that was
Which
very, the fact that Star Wars Galaxies, a game famous for, yeah, just being able just to just f around, just you know, you want to go be a farmer
well,
on
Star Wars
whatever, you
gets
could
a
do
bit-
that in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, but that's something where it kind of gets a little bit a lot, or not a little bit, it gets a lot more leeway that way because the story is already built in. You say the word Star Wars and there's like, you know, like minimum 6 hours of backstory already in your head.
Right, there's a lot of people who, yeah, there's already lore built into that. Yeah.
Right, just the IP alone. But it's the same with like the Conan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like, although that is something I liked a lot more about Age of Conan. Age of Conan has a story thread. It still has the whole, you do go do random missions. I need to level up to be able to even get to the next section of like unlocking some part of the overarching story. But there was actually like a story thread, right? That at least gave me a reason to be go doing like a bunch of dumb fetch quests for people, because I knew what I was leveling towards was like finding out what happens next, which is just not something that existed in Anarchy Online. Which, again, I don't blame the game for. Yeah, it's 100% like.
Yeah, no, that was basically how MMOs were developed at the time.
Yeah.
And Bomber says, yeah, even WoW was like that. But WoW was basically, when World of Warcraft first launched, that was the game that actually kind of changed things more than anything else. It made the quest hub, questing, and a storyline that progressed through zones and throughout entire areas. That basically changed things. That game basically changed how it was. And then every game that came up before it was seen as more just an open world sandbox. WoW was considered one of the first theme parks. I put all this in quotations. One of the first theme parks that had a lead through it that basically led you from place to place, and like a ride. And instead of being the sandboxes, right, Anarchy Online, Star Wars Galaxies, Ultima Online, EverQuest, all those sandboxes that came out before them. So, and it's nothing against what, it's just a different style of game. And nowadays you see people clamoring more for that sandbox style again. But people still, what they found is that people really did want some motivation.
Now, I think even if you get a sandbox now, there's still more of like a minimum of some kind of story.
Yeah.
And from like, I don't know, I think people are, at least from what I can see it, it's rare to see something that comes out that just like gives you nothing. It's just not what people want.
No.
I didn't inspect the orders. God.
Unless it's something like, I don't know, Minecraft or something. Like Minecraft is a game where you basically, but even
Minecraft has like an end as well, but like
yeah,
it's the Ender Dragon.
It's weird to get, like, I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out on your own. That's one of those ones where I'm like, okay, I know that there's a whole process to get there and get to the end. I don't know what tells you that. Maybe there is something. I never played it enough to know.
Or even like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is supposed to be like, oh, there's everything's, generated, and there's, millions of different worlds and this and that. But there is a storyline that actually does go through everything. There's a couple of storylines that go through everything. So it's like, yeah, even in the most open games, they now have at least some structure that says, hey, if you don't really know what to do, here's something you can do. But that is
which again, I didn't blame the game for. Also, like, it's one of those games where like 7 hours was not going to be enough to get far.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it's still more than like some people's. I played a game for an hour and I'm going to review it kind of bullshit.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I put in the time, but even all that time was basically to get to the first, the to actually get to one of those guild things and like do a first mission. That took like 7 hours. Um, Though we did spend some time, I did make it into the grid. I couldn't do anything in there, but I had someone gave me a bajillion goddamn credits.
But you had to at least see it. You had to go in and be like, haha.
Well, the thing is, you needed like a certain skill really high. But someone earlier had given me given my character like 900 million credits or something.
Okay.
And other people were in the stream were like, holy shit, when they saw my credits. And they were like, okay, go here, buy these implants, merge it with this, and then do this. And then we got my hacking skill or computer skill high enough to be able to enter the grid. Because in Secret World, right, the portal to Anarchy Online is the grid, the blue triangle shit. So I made it in there.
You're like, I had to find where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. That was why I had found it pretty, like, much sooner, but it was like, yeah, you can't go in there because your skill isn't high enough to let you in. I was like, okay, can we do this? Can we make this happen in the time I have left allocated to this game? And we did. Oh, and then I got turned into a Dracula.
Oh, right. Yes, I saw that. I was there for
which
that.
was pretty cool.
Yeah. a little
really
Lipa
fun.
with like Dracula fangs and wearing a little cape.
Like
that's where the elites come from, right? Anarchy
Online. Yeah,
it's
from Anarchy Online. And I got to talk. I talked to them. They were doing their elite speak, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, so yeah, it was like it was a good time. It's just like comparatively, right? Like I'm like I would need to spend a lot more time in there to get anything out of it. And there's not really a good incentive for me to do that.
No.
You know?
Unless you were just driven and, just wanted to
I will say I was pleasantly
to.
surprised with Age of Conan. That's one of those things where like, I remember noping out of it like right away back in the day. And this time, like, I think some things clicked a little bit more, maybe.
Okay.
That sometimes happens. Like that's why I'll revisit games too, because sometimes like you're not in the right mindset, or like I don't know, something doesn't click right in your head, and you're just confused. So you just drop it, come back later, and come back a year or two later, and be like, okay,
yeah,
let's really try this.
Yeah, so sometimes you have to try things over and over again before you're really like, like I get it now.
I'm like keep thinking I'm doing the other mission, and then I'm going the wrong place. Yeah, it's got a really interesting combo system. That's how far I didn't make it before. I didn't even know it had a combo system.
Interesting. Okay.
So that was really cool. In fact, I came back later that night after I went to sleep, and I woke up later. That like the thing I ended my stream at like almost like noon on Saturday. And like, so then I went to sleep, and like Saturday night I streamed again, and I just streamed more Age of Conan. Because I was so close. I was so close to like finishing the first city. Like the story point where you like you finish the first city, and then you embark to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, I kind of want to finish that. So that's what I streamed that night. And I finished the city. Yeah, it was actually like really. Had a really good. It had like cinematics, it had story going on. Had some kind of through line.
Age of Conan came out in 2008, which would be 4 years after World of Warcraft came out. So at that point, right, that what people were more pressing for was something with a little more progress. Tab targeting was still a thing. So I think Age of Conan is it active combat or is it tab target?
It's tab targeting.
Okay,
well, like
tab
so
target.
was
okay.
So was So is CSW, right? So like I
Yeah.
could play that. But I played all the games with a controller, by the way. I played Anarchy Online with a controller as
Nice.
well. I had to make a different profile for it so it would work. But yeah, like Age of Conan with the controller was really easy. Also, I think it auto. I'm pretty sure it like auto tabbed. If like there was just one thing in front of you and you went to attack, you would just auto tab select. I don't even think I had to tab then, but I had a tab button anyways on the controller, so it was
So
that
yeah,
part
but
wasn't a
very
big deal.
very few games had had any sort of active combat because just at the time, tab targeting was considered the best because people didn't have the most reliable internet back in 2004 2008 around that time period. You still had pretty massive swings in latency and this and that, and so tab targeting actually sort of smoothed that out and allowed it to be a little more sort of more active combat. It was a little more kind of just stand still and
No,
take
I would say
off
Age of
stuff.
Conan
But
was fairly active.
I was
Like
saying,
it
but
was
that one,
tab target,
that one I thought was actually a
but
little more active than most, which was actually a little different at the time.
yeah, and you can also do like finishing moves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like got like it had some like the combat's really cool. Also, I don't remember if I have a screen grab of it somewhere. Um, I thought I made like a post about it on the forums. I want to look real quick. There's a screen in Age of Conan that I did not find until like way late, and I was like, "What shit is this? Why isn't this the first thing the game assaults you with? And why does every game not have this?" That was I was like, "What the shit?"
What was it?
It was like an info screen. Let me see if I can find if I thought I posted it somewhere.
Hey, Scratch. Oh, right. And I think at one point, yeah, you were turned into the leap, into little Dracula, but you were also being able to like roll around, just like
Yeah, that was super fun.
rolling.
Dude, I swear I saved that somewhere. Where the hell did I put it? I remember I sent it to somebody.
It did. It
Shit.
looked very fun.
It was. Oh yeah, because I also had to figure out where the hell it stores your stupid screenshots. Because I couldn't find that.
So, but then yeah, Secret World came out 2012, and so they were kind of trending in that direction of getting a little more active in their MMOs. And so Secret World came out 2012. Still had tab targeting when it came out, and had sort of, you said there's like a combo system in Age of Conan.
Yeah.
And although we didn't have necessarily a combo system in Secret World, we did have the builder finisher, which is sort of a combo, I guess.
Well, no,
this
was closer to like. I felt closer to like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter kind of thing or something.
Okay.
Like you would hit an ability and then underneath it like because you had left and right attacks, or at least I did on the, because I was like a dual dagger like assassin kind of character. So you had like left and right attacks. I think it's actually left, right, forwards. You have like 3 different like angle attacks. You can attack either side or like their head essentially. And you would hit an ability, and that particular ability underneath it, like an arrow would light up. Like say like left. So you would need to use your left attack to match the arrow. Okay. And then as you upgraded your abilities, you leveled, some of them would get like extra arrows. So it'd be like hit your ability, hit the correct side, right? And then and if you hit all the arrows, the combo goes off, like massive damage. Which kind of reminds me of like, up, up, down, down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's a
like
little
kind
more
of like a fighting game
quick
combo.
time.
You know?
Mhm.
Like if you're doing like Mortal Kombat or something or Street Fighter, you might like punch uppercut, or something like Hayuken, right? Like it kind of reminded me more of that than anything else. But also like the reason you had like the left right top is also because the enemies would have like shieldish symbols and it would kind of rotate. So like you always wanted to be attacking where there wasn't a shield ideally.
Okay.
And that was really weird. I didn't understand it at first, and that's what the graphic like was amazing at that I didn't find until stupid later.
You're like, yeah,
I'm,
where
I'm,
was this?
I'm
Why
like,
wasn't
I think you
this?
had to hit O for it to pop up, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then I was also just like, "Why does this not exist in like every other game?" You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, let me see if I can find it. I remember ranting about it like forever. I was like, "What the shit? Why is this not? Why is this not a thing?" Oh, I found it. Let's see. I'll get a screen grab. I can put in the Discord or something.
So yeah, I want to take a look at this. I mean, it's just interesting to think to see over time, as far as how MMOs have progressed to what we have today. Almost purely all theme parks, but with the rare sand
Right.
park or sandbox, it doesn't necessarily do as well. People like story. People like having
Look at this. This is fucking amazing. It explains how the shields look, shield location, hit unprotected areas. It explains all the movement, the combos, what the map up in the top is, what the things on the top are, like targets, health, stamina. This little thing is you hit O and this pops up,
just
and I'm
pointing
like,
arrows right to what stuff is. Yeah.
Mhm.
and I'm like, why the fuck doesn't the game just start you on the beach and go here? And also that fucking key should be glowing or something. Like
Right. Just be like,
this
whenever you need it, here it is. It's right here.
also, where the fuck is this for Secret World? You guys made this for Age of Conan. How come Secret World doesn't have one of these fucking things? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a legend
Cheat
of your
sheet.
screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, when I hit it by accident, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, oh my god.
Oh, view this
That's
screen.
what all those things are without me having to click on them to see what they are. Like
Farmers says, I bet it was in the manual. Oh my gosh, yes.
maybe. But that
'Cause
doesn't
these games do
explain
have
why that
manuals.
image does why a Secret World version of that doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying. Like where the fuck is that? I mean, I know in Legends we have the training videos,
Hey, Rin.
right?
Yep. Oh, the
Yeah, the little
speciality
pop up.
spotlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Little
got
videos.
speciality things, but like where's the thing that explains what the fuck your UI is, right? And
Here's your bar.
I don't
Here's
know that
your
anything tells you like that you can unlock your UI.
No. You pretty much you have to go around. It's like, oh, what does this button do? Hover over. It's like, what's the lock? Oh, toggle GUI. Oh, okay, that's what that is.
and of course you have to know
Yeah.
what GUI means,
What's a GUI?
which although we do, I'm sure there's a lot that do not.
GUI is that?
They're like, if you're already playing MMOs though, you
Is that a
probably
medical thing?
You know what's funny though is I think technically Legends does tell you but it's only if you read the little notes in the loading screens.
Yeah, but who reads those?
Yeah, right?
It depends
Yeah.
how long your loading screen is.
Well, if you know that your loading screen takes forever, you're gonna go make a sandwich and come back.
Well, like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure one of the loading screen tips is literally like you can click the lock in the thing to
Change
I'm
around
pretty
your
sure
HUD.
it's one of the loading screen tips. which also like isn't so much of a thing anymore because of SSDs, right? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it was more for, the spinning hard drives.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Loading screens, especially
loading
as
screen with
games get
tips
older and
is
older,
literally
right?
to give you something to like go, huh, okay,
It's
while
like
you're
something you see
staring at
for
the picture.
maybe 2 seconds now that used to be there for like 10 seconds. So you'd actually have the
I
time
mean,
to read it.
even on an SSD, if it's Kaiden, it's going to be more like 15 seconds. but yeah,
But still, yeah.
in general, yeah, like it's just not as much of a thing as it was.
Hey, Rin.
Oh my God.
We're currently going over. Jimmy had a 24 plus hour stream for Extra Life Day. We're kind of just going over that and his experiences in Anarchy Online, Age of Conan Unchained, and Secret World.
Yeah, it was a. Okay, guys, please stop trying to kill me. Stop it.
Oh, do you have his stream going on our stream?
No.
You should.
Means I gotta open up a browser.
Oh
The
no.
horror. The horror.
A browser.
Oh.
I like the screen to show that Jimmy is still working on his free to play Road to E17 character.
Yep. Gained 1 IP tonight already.
There you go. Gonna make
I'm
it.
not used to this reflective water shit. It's weirded me the fuck out. Like, I tried cranking all the settings, just because it was topic of discussion earlier in the Discord. So I've always said never go full 4.0, which I still maintain for most people is probably true. You probably shouldn't do that. However, I figured I'd do some testing. There was
yeah, this game works much better if you keep everything at like 3.8 or something.
Yeah. Well, there was, I think it was Tips was saying in Discord, the 4 gig patch. I'm like, what the fuck is a 4 gig patch? And they linked it. I went to go look at it, and it's like, oh, it like tells like older executables that like, hey, by the way, you don't get like X64 stuff doesn't have that 2 gig reserved for Windows that shit used to. You're allowed to touch that. So it basically lets the executable touch more RAM.
Okay.
So I was giving that a shot. I'm still not 100% sure that the game didn't fix it when I loaded it. I probably should have marked the executable read only like after that or something, just to be sure. So I'm not even positive that's actually working. But I am running like super high settings right now.
I was like, have you actually updated in a while? I know that for a long time there you were like, no, you're keeping the
oh no,
the
I'm on like latest NVIDIA as far as that goes.
Oh, okay. It's like the patch that basically was the most stable Secret World patch.
Yeah, but the thing is like they it's not like there's been one where I had to roll back. NVIDIA. That happened for sure, because it wouldn't even fucking launch the game basically. Just insta crash. However, they don't stay that way. Like I had to roll that one back, and then the next version that came out, I tried it and it was fine. So like, I don't know. At least so far, there's never been a version where it's just or the one time there was a version where the game didn't work, the next version worked. So I rolled back one, waited for the next release, and then it was fine.
And it's all due to what the
3D vision bullshit.
The 3D vision, yeah.
No, I got his stream covering up the watermark.
Nice. That's one way to fix the problem.
There you go, Bomber. It's fixed.
It's fixed. Oh, what watermark?
What watermark? I don't know what you're talking about. Your Windows is just fine.
Yeah, it's completely activated. Legal. Psh.
Night of the Transdimensional Fish People.
But congratulations again on another 24-hour plus extra Life Day stream. How much did you raise? How much money did you raise?
It was an interesting number. 1,131.
Okay.
So I think someone was donating, like, intentionally messing with the number. So it was like 1131 is what it ended up as.
You're gonna make it an even number. Nope. And you're like, whatever. It's your money. Thank you for donating. Like whatever amount you want. That's great. Even if just to mess up number totals, it's still great.
I think that might be. That's like the third time I broke the $1,000 mark. I think.
Nice.
Because I mean it's pretty rare. Like I just don't have the audience numbers. Not that people aren't really cool and come by and donate because they do. In fact, I like family members that like awesome. Never watched my stream, but like went and donated or whatever. But for the size of like my normal audience, like hitting that number is not normal.
No. I mean, yeah, that makes your viewers very generous. Absolutely.
So yeah, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun. I think I was up for like 30 some hours before I went to sleep. Like, and then I only slept for like 2.5 hours and then woke up again for a bit. Before I actually laid down and got more actual sleep.
Got real sleep.
Yeah, your body was at that point like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I was like, I had like
the sun's
we're doing something.
Well, I had like a 2.5 hour power nap, and I think I like fell off the couch or something. like woke up, like
fall off the couch.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch because it was like afternoon. I was like, I'm not gonna go lay down. Like in the bedroom and in the dark. I was just like fell asleep watching TV on the couch in the afternoon. And because like after the stream ended, right, I had to make the kids lunch. Mm-hmm. It was like Saturday. And my
I would say it was not necessarily morning, but it was almost noon, I'm guessing. Saturday.
Oh, it was. Like by the time, I mean 24 hours would have been before noon, but I basically ended like around noon, maybe 11:40 or something like that. So yeah, then I like did lunch and all that, and then like my wife got home from work and I was talking to her, and it was just like, I'm just gonna chill on the couch. And yeah, I did go to sleep, but then like somehow I slid off. Like woke up sitting on the floor, the dog bouncing all over me. Like, what the hell?
It's a combination of both sleeping and passing out.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was super fun. Like I said, that same night, like, so I think I did eventually go back to sleep and then woke up at like 7 or 8 or something, at night, and then so I was up. So I think like around 10 at night or something, I started streaming again, and I finished the Age of Conan like city. I finished that quest.
Okay. So Age of Conan is one that I've never tried out. I've tried out a lot of MMOs over the years, but Age of Conan is one that I've never tried out, and it's always been in the back of my brain, like when I'm in between or something like that, to go like, yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I think
and your experience through it. Yeah,
I think. Well, last time I know for a fact I didn't understand the shield mechanic. Luckily, like, I think Rifla and a couple other people that play Secret World were in the stream that used to play Age of Conan, so they kind of knew some of the shit. So they were in chat being like, I'm pretty sure that works like this or something, Mm-hmm. In fact, in both games, both AO and AOC, I had, like, veterans of the games in the chat, like, helping out and throwing suggestions.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
because I'm sure they were all excited, to have somebody streaming the game. That like we do that for Secret World too. Where we're like, hey, someone new streaming Secret World.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
someone
like,
else has got into Secret World.
and
Hey,
also
Scratch Fandango's playing Secret World. Let's bring him into our community.
I'm gonna say this: there's people running around in both those games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Like-
how's like the population of the games?
AO's got a fair amount of people running around in there, I gotta say. And then I think in Age of Conan, I didn't see the same number of people as I did in AO, but I attribute that to the fact that I was in the starting city. Like I was in the starting city where like your adventure kind of begins, and then you branch out into the map, into the world, into other cities that have hubs.
Right. So you wouldn't be in like the end game city,
Yeah, or even like maybe whatever the central hub ends up being. I don't think that is that city, right? It's probably a different one than the starter city. Whereas in AO, once you get to like the hub place, that's like the main hub place. Like everything like kind of stems a little bit from there. So like I think that's part of why like I just saw like a bunch of people all over the place, because it's kind of like a Gartha, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that sense. Whereas at least I got the feeling in Age of Conan, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure, like, and just based on the map, that like, oh, you finish your last sort of, you're essentially like getting your character to a certain level, like unlocking your true self, and then you go out to the world, to other cities, and continue adventuring. So like, I'm pretty sure that's not the starting. That's not like the hub. If there is a hub, it's not there. So I did manage to die in a cutscene, I think, in Age of Conan. That was pretty cool.
It's fun.
Now that I think about it, like I was thinking about the other stuff that happened around the city, and there's like a volcano you set off or something, and I got tired of trying to fight people. I just like ran past it and like activated the thing, but like the guy was still attacking me the whole time in the cutscene. They didn't have the NPC runaway thing that they eventually added in Secret World when a cinematic's happening. Like they should go away. Like that.
Yeah,
that's
like
not
all aggro is stopped during a cinematic.
Yeah, nope. My character's like all like doing something and sitting down all casual, and meanwhile it's just getting like whacked in the back of the head with a sword,
and you can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't even, I couldn't even like skip the cinematic. Like it's an in-game running thing, non-skippable. I'm just like, I hope that I survive to the end of it and it triggers like the next story step, so that when I die and come back, like I'll be on the next leg, which I think is how it ended up working out. But even in there, which like I said, I don't think is like a main hub, I saw people running around. I ran into people questing. I ran into like quote new players, like at least new characters, right? Might be just be an old player running up a new character potentially.
Right.
But I saw other people like leveling. A couple people tried to like invite me to their group or their clan or some shit, and I'm like, no, go away.
Yeah, you're like, I don't plan on continuing this character.
There's random invites.
Yeah, well, it was just like, it'd be one thing if someone sent me a message and was like, "Hey, I see you're playing," whatever. But like,
yeah, I get those a lot in like SWOTOR. Like I'm running through a mission, all of a sudden a pop-up comes up. Hey, you want to join such and so's guild? It's like, no, go away, stop. Ruining my immersion.
Like,
I mean, my condolences to that player, I guess. That's what I'll say to that.
They must have been holding on to that license key, or they got one from somebody.
Yeah, I don't know how they have gotten a key.
I mean, there's stuff floating around. It's not like people didn't buy.
Yeah, but you still gotta search for it. It's a lot. You gotta put in the legwork for it.
You can't come over from SWL unless you actually like had a TSW account. Like you would have had to, you have to have an account. You can't get Legends and then go back to. You can patch the game to TSW, but you need an actual.
You still would need your logins.
You would have to buy a TSW account. You wouldn't have access.
So, well, other than that, we had some news for the tabletop RPG update. This was posted late October by Ross Watson. He says, "Greetings, you wonderful Secret World backers. As promised, here's our end of the month update. While we can't show anything just yet, we want you to understand how things are progressing. Basically, everything is in layout at this time. Our layout people are working diligently to put together the core book, the art book, and the remaining stretch goals. Once everything is done, it all goes to Funcom for approval. Once that happens, we can show you the rough layout and get the book in your hands for a read-through. The rough layout will include some pink boxes. These are where art will eventually go once it's finalized by the artist and approved by Funcom. There may be the occasional layout note left in place or other minor issues at this stage. The key thing is, the rough layout is where we want to get your feedback, since by then we'll have page numbers to refer to when you send in your notes. Currently, our plan is to have the rough layout ready and sent to Funcom by the end of November. As soon as we can, we'll get that same rough layout sent to you, the backers. We'll then have a period where you can send in any corrections you find so we can improve the final PDF. We plan to deliver another update by the end of November at the very latest. And they haven't done that yet, but it's only mid-November at this point. What are you doing? What are you doing? I know. You're a cat. My cat's decided to go behind my monitor and start pushing it around. So reading stuff is on a little bit of a hard mode right now. We are grateful for your patience and understanding as we get closer to the finish line. So they're almost done. They're a little behind schedule. They initially said basically they wanted this out for October, but yeah, that didn't happen. But they're progressing just fine. And I think I saw. I want to say I took
probably next January of next year is probably a good time. I think probably
get so? Out.
Yeah, because December it's going to be delayed because there's not going to be any people there in the office for on Funcom side.
On the November 6th, Brandon posted, he said, for those following along, progress on layout is picking up steam. Funcom has also given us room to share some samples. Sometimes this month we will share more snippets. I'll also start sharing backer art once I double check that they have all seen their art. And they posted the first page of chapter 1, and it looks like pretty much what you would expect it to look like any other D&D sort of style book. He posted that on their Discord. Hold on, this cat. Come here.
Now.
You. You. No, you're staying right here.
Kitty. Yeah, you say that now until I start clawing your way to get out.
Oh, she's clawing. Oh, yeah. No, her claws are out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sentence with missing words in the beginning of that rough draft preview. Yeah, no, I expect them to. I'd still expect it once everything is all said and done, to still be a little on the rough side.
That's what she said.
Are you happy now? She's like, no.
I mean, I'm not unhappy. Oh, you weren't talking to me?
No, sorry, not this time. Rin and Vommer. Rin's happy with the cat. This is Pogo. She's a little monster.
You say Pogo?
Pogo, yes.
That was the name of the wallaby that used to live in our garage.
Nice.
Pogo, 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 bounce.
Pogo like Pokemon Go? No, more like the
Pogo
stick.
Well, the System of a Down song. Pogo, 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 bounce.
She is quite the cat. She's the only cat they've ever had that actually acts more like a dog than anything else.
Forgot they had that song. Wow.
Oh, no, you're running? Okay.
Listen.
She's done. That's okay.
I mean, I can't really say anything. I forgot the name of the song before I forget. So, for like an entire day, I was like, I can't think of the name of the song. It's Before I, son of a bitch. What's the name of it? And it's Before I Forget. I
forgot.
So okay. Fucking mad. Because I think I was stuck. Oh, I'm in the wrong goddamn build. No wonder this. Actually, I'm surprised this is going as well as it is. I am in the completely wrong build for this fucking shit.
You're tanking away.
No. This is just my run around like open world build, and I'm doing
okay
E15 scenario in it. It's not meant for
not
this.
Not bad. It's effective.
Not necessarily.
It'll work in a pinch. So yeah, it's still going along. So you said your guess is February. February sounds okay.
Well, no, I'm thinking January.
January?
Late January.
I'm thinking January, February, March. Yeah, I don't expect him to get much done over
April, May,
December.
June, July.
Yeah, December is pretty much just going to be like no work is going to get done during that whole month.
I just thought we were going to keep going.
Could be January, February, March, April.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. June.
Maybe June.
I'd be okay with that. July?
June, July.
Okay.
October.
We just want it, okay? We just want it.
Oh, October again. That'd be interesting. Just loop back.
Yeah, they said October, but not
loop around. Yeah.
Yeah, but not what year.
Be like, we made it.
Get him.
It's still better than a lot of other Kickstarters out there.
That is very true.
Yeah, October 2028. We just didn't tell you which one. Moving on, Conan Exiles. Today they had a live stream with Andy B, Dennis Douthett, and Nicole Spynosaur. They had a live stream today to discuss all about Chapter 3, Age of War Chapter 3. Brings new features to Conan Exiles, some of which are quite unlike anything we've added before, as they say. Fortress assaults. Have you ever looked at the purge enemies charging your fortifications and longed for the glory of assaulting a castle yourself? In Chapter 3, you can. Among the ruins of Al-Mariah.
Yeah, they have the Siege of Al-Mariah.
Nice.
Because they're like, does anyone know what that is? And I was like, I do. And they're like,
I was like, wait a minute.
Like, it's like, fuck yeah, I know Siege of Al-Mariah.
The Stygians have raised a mighty fortress from which to squeeze every drop of wealth from the exiled lands, crush their defenses, fight your way into the inner chamber, and face the commander of the Stygian forces. Gold and glory await the victor of Al-Mariah. Like, we know that. We know Al-Mariah. We're big fans. Open your own tavern. This is cool. This is actually a really cool update. What are legends for without a place for them to be shared and celebrated? Open your own tavern and then bring it to life. Once the barkeep has been freed from an enemy purge camp and settled down in your tavern, that's the only way to get barkeeps these days. This dynamic area will over time fill with NPCs that you can hire as guards or workers. No longer does the Wheel of Pain need to be the main source of followers. That's cool. That's a really cool way to do it.
So like they also showed that like not just like thralls, but like you can like there's like main characters you can basically like get to come sit in your place, and then like I think that can like lead to other quests. So it'd be like it's also giving them the ability to, in like future updates, be like, oh, there's going to be content that like you can essentially unlock story-wise from your bar, right? Because you could like, oh, the bartender knows this person, and you like essentially you pay to like, you know, make that contact happen, and they show up in your bar, then you can talk to them and get a quest, right? And then come back to your own base with your bar because you would want to like tell them like, oh, how you know, whether you solved the problem or whatever the fuck it was. Like, it was really, really cool.
Nice.
And I think essentially like a way to breadcrumb future missions from wherever the fuck your base is.
Yeah. which sounds
but like in
really handy.
Character. Like a reason why that character might be at your place. Like it was really interesting.
So yeah, otherwise, in the Battle Pass and Bazaar Cosmetics, they say make your tavern really sing with a slew of veneer and Yamatai themed tavern. I don't know how to pronounce that. Themed tavern placeables. Craft yourself the longhouse of your dreams with the expanded Acer building set, and play literally the biggest chess game of your life with the new chess tiles and life-size board pieces. Why not?
I'm gonna have to like get back into Conan Exiles, honestly, for the chess shit alone.
Say why not? Why not? And more. We still have a few surprises in store, so keep your eyes peeled for news as we approach December 14th. That is when Age of War Chapter 3 is coming out. So mid-December. So not bad. Not bad. I was just saying, I didn't get that far in Conan Exiles. I got as far to open up heavy leather. I just found a source of heavy leather. And I was like, yeah, I got enough heavy leather. I had built enough that a purge could happen at any time. And then they went and changed the whole purge dynamic. So I never actually got a real purge.
All I'm thinking of is like the heavy metal movie like soundtrack, but with heavy leather instead.
I found heavy leather.
That's all that's going through my head right now. Yeah, I burned myself out on farming one of the specific thralls that made you a certain custom armor piece.
Yeah,
I really wanted that, like for cosmetic reasons, and I spent like 2 months trying to farm that fucking thrall.
And now they have a system where you basically take what you can and put the stats onto something else that looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you would still need the piece though, right? Like, I don't know if that
you need the initial piece, or you need at least the looks. Yeah, you need the piece with the looks that you want. So that's cool. That's cool. Dune Spice Wars. Dune Spice Wars is coming to Game Pass November 15th, which was yesterday.
Yep, yesterday. Yep.
Available now on PC Game Pass and arriving to Xbox Series XS on November 28th. Good. That's always good. And the big piece of news that we found was Dune Awakening is having their first closed beta signups going on. They posted it November 14th, 2 days ago. It said, "Greetings, sleepers. As the team continues to make great progress on Dune Awakening, we're approaching a stage where the game can benefit a lot from player feedback. As such, we will soon begin holding early closed beta tests, initially with small pools of players. As we continue doing tests, we will increase numbers of players invited. We will soon reach out with a sign-up form To all those who signed up for the beta on the official website, we will email the account you signed up with, so keep an eye on your inbox and spam. This is an early closed beta test, and those invited will be under NDA not to share information about the test publicly. If you haven't signed up yet, you can do so on the homepage using the beta sign up tab. Make sure to also join the official Discord to stay up to date on more news. We can't wait for the first arrivals on Arrakis. Until next time, sleepers. You sleepers, you.
And also, I pasted the link in the chat.
There you go. So that's probably the biggest one. That right. They're at a point where they're going to be looking to start closed betas for Dune Awakening.
Yeah, that's pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hope springs eternal.
Yeah. No, it looks good. They keep saying it's an MMO. They keep pushing the MMO. They're saying this is an MMO. So it's not just Conan Exiles. It's going to be more of a survival MMO, which sort of places it along the lines of a sandbox. Sort of.
Yeah, it
sort of places
definitely seems that's what they're going for. Just from the stuff they've put out.
They're kind of going back on that. The talk about sandboxes or theme parks or whatnot. That it kind of feels like what they're kind of going for is, instead of having more of an open theme park, to basically make this a modern sandbox. It is a desert, yes.
There is sand involved.
Sand and lots of sand galore. But to be it on more like a modern sandbox, and trying to think what a more modern sandbox would be. Like, what is a New World? Is New World more of a sandbox? I don't even know.
No.
Well, kinda.
Well, it's not really. It's not a sandbox though, because you don't do any building. There's crafting. Well, no, yeah, you do with the forts, but that's kind of like.
That's more for like guilds or something. That's more for the on the guild level.
I mean,
I meant sandbox. I didn't mean the building, I guess, when I said sandbox. Sorry.
Yeah, well, sandboxes, I guess it's more because initial sandboxes didn't necessarily have building. Didn't necessarily have that. It was more almost survival aspect.
Yeah.
Which I think this is absolutely going to be more on the survival side, but more of a survival MMO, which sort of leans into the sandbox and the I'm sure, just like Conan Exiles, they're going to have a building component to it where you can build a base and you can build whatever.
I thought you were going to say Dick Slider.
Super dong.
I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know how much you're whipping it out on Arrakis, though. That seems like
it's kind of like your guild suit is going to have that little pocket cod piece.
You're like, it's a nice sandy desert with giant worms everywhere. I did start reading Dune. I did decide to finally start reading Dune. It's about time. I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters in, though. Nothing to really get too excited
I've
about.
read it so long ago, I kind of don't remember.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I have long since forgotten tons of stuff I read, but I used to read like, I don't know, like 20 books a week or something. Like, there's just, my brain cannot remember all that shit. It was fun to read at the time, but I don't remember it all. But I remember reading the book, and I remember like some random aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But like, I also think, I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of shit jumbled from both the movies and the TV series. The books, movie, and TV series are all just kind of like swirled into one sandy mass in my head.
Like deserts,
and the movie now too.
Worms and boxes, and
also you don't forget the 1984 version of the movie as well.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, there's the newer one.
I'm saying. So when I was saying the movie earlier, I was thinking of the 84 one.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
just added the
Yeah.
new movie. I was like, oh right, and the new
Oh,
movie that
okay.
I also saw. Like it's all just kind of blended.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 2 different TV show series as well, like miniseries, I should say.
I think so.
Unless it was Dune and it was like Children of Dune.
That
This is why I've decided to
sounds
start on
right.
the with the book, because I actually have never seen any of the movies. I've never seen any of the shows. I've never seen any of the things. So I'm
What?
like, I'm just going in with the book. The book is probably the best way to get, I don't know, the introduction to it, I guess.
I would also check out the latest movie as well. I mean, you could check out all of it. I think all of it's entertaining, but
Oh yeah.
I
They're
would check
coming
out the
out with
latest movie.
a new TV series, Dune: The Sisterhood.
Are they really
Yeah.
interesting? Well, the reason I think I would check out the latest movie, other than I think it actually was good, and the sequel's coming eventually,
It'll be around. Yeah.
after like strikes and shit are resolved, probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's already been done.
The actors one?
Yep.
Yeah, the actors one finished as well, I think.
I think it was
Did it?
like last week or a couple days ago.
Okay, because
Yeah.
last I remember I knew the writers one got resolved and the actor one was still going.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure the actors one was just resolved too.
Okay.
Yeah, because a
gonna
lot
look
of
that up
productions are
as
starting to
well.
get scheduling to get started again.
So
Oh, it
'cause
was
because
Children of
because the
Dune was
Dune
the other series.
what I was gonna say is because the Dune movie was kind of like like what drove the game being made in the first place,
Right. Absolutely.
right? Like the Dune movie was like, oh shit, we have the IP for the game, we need to capitalize on this, right? Like that was
Transmedia synergy. Let's do it.
clearly what was happening, and I think that was the correct thing to do.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
anything, by the way, the
Mhm.
like COVID and strikes delay gave them more time to get shit ready. Like by the time the second movie comes out, like you know what I mean, they could be, I don't know if they'd be released, but they might at least be in early access or something. Like I think they'll get to synergize decently with the second movie probably. But like from the initial like pictures of like the main character on the standing there in the desert or whatever, to
Mhm.
me it kind of seems like a little close to the new movie, like just as far as like maybe outfit style wise or something.
Yeah, the part 2 comes out March 15th next year.
Yeah, so
I'll say so. If they get
if
out,
they're doing like the very first closed betas like right now, like I said, I don't know if they'll release or if they'll do like an Exiles thing and be in early access for a year or something. But like even
they
if they're in
probably
early
will.
access,
But even
like
even still,
like if you're in early access and the movie's like popping, like
that's great.
that's gonna be
You
good
got
for you.
something. You got something out there
Yeah.
while the movie's still hot. Yeah.
So
Okay, this says, November 9th, Hollywood actors reached a tentative agreement with major studios on Wednesday to resolve the second of 2 strikes as that rocked the entertainment industry as writers and performers demanded higher pay in the streaming TV era. So, okay, yeah. So, about a week ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
both
Both strikes done, stuff can get back in progress, and hopefully these contracts are a lot better.
Yeah, a lot of them, because they're saying they're made it so that the AI portion is going to be a no go from that. Like they protected because the studios wanted to use the AI versions of the actors and was it perpetuity or whatever it's called?
Perpetuity, yeah.
Perpetuity, yeah.
And not just that, they could like, call someone in for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like have them do like 8 hours worth of work or even less, and just use that and be like, oh, now we can put your face in literally anything we want for the rest of time.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, not cool.
Yeah, and the Ornithopters, yeah, Valmer, you're right. It's the game version is very similar, or if not the same, as the newer movie versions.
Yeah, so I'm just
Oh.
saying, like, well, I would say yes, watch or read the books, right? Like, obviously,
Yeah, but also
and
definitely
really,
watched
like,
a movie.
even the '80s movie was pretty interesting. Like,
The '80s movie was more. It was rushed. It was good in certain aspects, but the later half of it.
I didn't say good or bad. I just said interesting.
It's
Yeah.
right. It exists.
It,
It's
The
a
Well, no,
music-
not that it exists, but like interesting in like multiple ways. Partly because of its age and its time, like what they
Yeah.
were able to do with their budget. Like,
and it's got music by
interesting
Toto.
for a number of reasons.
I say the weird
David
beach
Lynch.
volleyball scenes are a little weird. Why they? I mean, they got sand everywhere. I mean, why not have beach volleyball? Really? Yeah, no. I've always thought, even for like new stuff, when like new things have come out for properties, and most people they get all up in arms about it. Having more stuff for an IP is not a bad thing. It's like,
If done right.
I don't even know about that. Just it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, sometimes
great.
it's just good to have the IP, like, I don't know, stay relevant, I guess is maybe a good word for it.
Yeah. Like it puts it back into puts it back into people's consciousness again, and
Even if it's bad, they're like, oh, I like this when it wasn't shit.
yeah. And then that'll have people go back to the originals, and then they'll watch the originals, and they'll find this and that.
Except for the Fantastic Four, they've literally never done that right. It's every time it comes out, it's a reminder of like, oh man, they really suck at trying to do this.
Are they trying to do that again?
Every single time.
And actually, Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, they're going to sign him.
Someone else. I thought it was going to be.
What's his name?
John Krasinski.
Yeah. No, he was only in the latest
the Doctor Strange movie.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The multiverse one. Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why not Pedro Pascal? He's just, give him a child
that man's
that he has
schedule
to,
is completely booked for 2024.
Give him a child that he has to watch over, and he can make anything. He can make magic.
Well, he's got scheduled for The Mandalorian, Last of Us Season 2, Fantastic Four. So he's pretty busy for next year.
He's basically like the name right now.
Yeah. And of course, I think he also wants to like exit because out of Mandalorian, because the story is pretty much done.
I mean, they literally put kind of like a bow on it, really.
Yeah. Sorry, spoilers, but yeah.
Wow, so rude.
Yeah, and you know what? Dumbledore dies by Snape's hand.
Oh, you monster! I haven't seen any of those movies. That's because I didn't want to.
We didn't say how the Mandalorian ended. All we basically said is that it ends in a way that sort of like kind of concludes his story.
Yeah,
if
and it's
they
a
wanted
nice way.
to, I guess. Yeah. If they wanted to, they could basically end it there and be like, nope, that's good.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh man, the third Matrix. I was working in this comic store, and the owner, like, right before I went to see it, was like, Trinity dies.
What?
You're like, son of a
fucker.
No, I remember we were
like in the theater. That theater was like in the same parking lot as the store. I'm really like walking, 40 yards or something to the goddamn place, and he just had to fucking do it.
Yeah. So no, I remember I worked at Barnes & Noble when all the Harry Potter books were still giant, and every single night that we had, every single time there was a release day for one of the books, it was like an absolute madhouse for like the full week leading up to it.
So I miss those
And
days.
I remember, well, one, we got to read the books before they were actually released. Like in the break room. We couldn't take them home with us. But if you were like in one of the back rooms, like on your break, you could actually read it before it came out. And I remember I was working the main desk on one of those nights, and it was like, because people camped out.
Oh yeah.
Except for there was not enough space for all the people camping out. And so people would just like be like, "Oh, I found a place on the floor over here. It's fine. Sure. Why not?"
It's opened.
And I remember someone coming in once. There was a customer that we had that night, and they were like stepping over people. Like they came in the front door and then had to like step over like people, and they were like, I'm here. I'm looking for well, what the hell is going on here? Like, why are there people everywhere? And it's like, oh yeah.
Don't mind
you
them.
came to Barnes & Noble on the wrong day is what you did. But it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. And then, right, I want to say someone, like right after we sold it, just went right to the final page and like yelled a couple of spoilers.
What a dickhole.
That's a dick.
Like right as it was, right as they sold it. And then someone was like trying to complain to us about it. They're like, "Well, what are you gonna do about it?" And they're like, "What can we do about it? Sorry, what? Nothing. They're a jerk.
Kill them.
What do you want us to do?"
Well, I'd be like, well, I won't call the cops if you go punch him in the face.
Yeah, exactly right. I could look the other way. But like that's about the most I could do for you, essentially. Yeah, no, all that went on. I guess that's why to this day, like, I do actually care a lot about spoilers, like, but I care in the vein of like I do my best to avoid seeing them.
Mhm.
I do my best to avoid them. I know that if other people just blurt it out in front of me, well, I can't help that, really.
I found that, like, I genuinely don't really care because
I'll say, yeah, that's the other hand. Yeah.
it's, for me, like, even if it's like a twist thing, like, for me, it's about the journey of the story,
Mhm.
not so much about, like, oh my
Right.
god, I didn't know there was a twist. Like, yeah, sometimes it's interesting or whatever,
What's
but
a twist?
Yeah, no, that's
me-
generally the point, is right. If basically just knowing the big point of the story is enough to ruin the whole story,
It wasn't
really
that good
must
of a
have not been
story.
that. Yeah, it must not have been that great in the first place. If just knowing it was enough to ruin it.
He was dead the
Exactly.
entire time.
Oh no!
Like, honestly, that just makes it more confusing. Like, wait,
Yeah. So yeah, so there is that double sword there of like, yeah, if the spoiler itself is really ruins it, it really kind of deserved to be ruined in the first place. Like it really must not be that great. But like, I've still got a lot of games that I want to play. Especially if like the old school like Sierra games or this or that. Not necessarily for the story, but for like the puzzles, like even to a point of like, sure, tell me a story, but don't ruin a puzzle for me. Like that's it's sort of the whole reason why I'm playing it. If you ruin a puzzle, then I just
It's like, we're going to have words.
yeah. But if you're like, oh, they get together with a princess or this happens, like, oh, okay, all right.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't. It's not bothered by stuff. Well, at least not that kind of stuff. I get bothered by other stuff. Mostly people being stupid.
Yeah.
I'm old and crotchety.
So I put that, like I said, I put that in the same category as people who are, that will go around spoiling everything. It's like, oh, come on, man. You're
if you're just doing it to be a dick, like some people
you're just being a jerk.
Don't realize what they're doing necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
They just talk without thinking, and they're like, okay, well, you didn't mean it. Like you weren't trying to be an asshole. Whereas other people are just like, let me ruin this for you. It brings me joy to ruin it for you.
Yeah, you're like, come on, man. Like what? I had a friend who
John dies at the end. Wasn't that the title?
Yeah.
That was pretty good, honestly.
I had a friend who, after every new Game of Thrones episode, they would change their profile picture to whoever died that episode.
Okay, that's really fucked up, but also kind of amazing at the same time.
Yeah,
like that's a rough one. I don't know how to judge that because that's like, pretty great.
What are you doing, man? Thing is, though, is I never got into Game of Thrones. I never read the books. I didn't so I really wasn't that interested in the show either.
The show's really good. I didn't read the books, but the show.
Yeah, all 6 seasons were pretty good.
Dude, I'm honestly not as big of a hater of the last season.
No,
as the finale. It was some people.
I didn't mind it. I just wish that they had it expand, so it felt rushed.
I don't necessarily agree with some of the choices, I guess would be the way to put that, but like
well, it's just the way how everything played out. It's like, oh, then we'll move from here. Oh yeah, now we're over here. It's like, what happened in between? Usually we have like some transitional episodes that furthers the story, not just we're in Winterfell. Oh, now we're at King's Landing. What the hell?
I mean, it was a wrap up, right? Like I get that. I don't even think the problem was that. I think the problem was people just didn't like the actual solutions that happened.
Right.
Like I honestly think
the question really,
it wasn't just. I mean, it could have been partly that it was rushed, right? Mm-hmm. But if it was rushed and everyone liked how it ended up, if everyone was happy with the beats, they would have been like, well, I would have liked to see that take like 3 episodes instead of 1, but like at least you're sort of satisfied. I think a lot of people were just like, what the fuck? Why did they make this happen? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like there was a lot of that happening, from what I recall.
Yeah. And partially it comes into question. I saw this asked a lot when that was going on was, if you have such a long running, if you have such a thing that people are so passionate about, and you have this long running thing, can there actually be an ending that everyone's going to be happy with? Like,
I think there potentially can be the problem of the ones that I've seen where there's problems almost inevitably end up with, because you're wrapping it, they do something to a character where like you're like, but they don't. The entire last 100 hours I've watched tells me they wouldn't do that thing you just had them do in order to facilitate the end of the thing. Right? I think that's the single biggest issue I've seen with multiple shows where they do like a wrap up where whether they got canceled early or whatever, and it's like in order to force the story that direction, this character has to do something that's like completely out of character for them, and you're just like, what? Why did they do that?
Yeah, wait
make that happen a different way. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You just had me watch this character arc unfold and then had them do something like it doesn't make any sense based on what you've told me about them the entire time. I also think Game of Thrones had some of that at the end as well.
But we had a lot of plot armor with a couple characters that, I can understand why they didn't want to kill them off, but because of the story, but it just made anything else irrelevant.
Well, they also got rid of some that didn't make any sense to me either, where it's just like, wait.
Yeah, what's his name? The spy master. What Valeris. No. What's his name?
No, I didn't care about that guy.
Yeah, it was like
literally Jon Snow. Like
Well, no, I was talking with the Spy Master. He's been for like decades, like inundated. He knows what's going on, but he's just casually talks to Jon Snow. He's like, "Yeah, I'm betraying Daenerys." It's like, so, what?
Hey, how you doing?
Then of course Daenerys is like, "Well, I'm gonna have to kill you now." No, that doesn't make sense for the character.
Yeah. Well, I was more thinking about the what happens with Jon Snow, where it's like, who was there to see what happened? How does anyone know what happened there? That whole thing doesn't make any sense, because like you would just leave, no one would know.
Yeah, be like, oh, Daenerys is gone. Where'd she go? I don't know. She's no longer here.
Yeah, it didn't make like how they're just like, oh well, they somehow. Like, or he just walked out and was like, "It was me." like
oopsie doopsie.
It didn't make any sense to me, like that part.
Yeah. Sorry, it was me. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I was just like, but why? But what? Like that's not.
Why?
What? No one would do that.
Yeah.
Never mind this character. Like no one would do that. Like not a person on the planet would just do what you had them do. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I had that problem with the Dexter finale. I really liked that show, but they had them do some really dumb out of character shit.
I'm going to be a lumberjack now.
No, that was fine. Like the very end. I'm talking about like how they even get to that point made no fucking sense. It was like, oh, I've decided that I figured out I don't have to kill. This guy's gonna kill everyone I know, but I'm gonna let him go because I've decided I don't have to kill. What? He decided he doesn't have to. It doesn't
I had a change of heart.
Gonna do it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It's completely antithetical to the character as a whole. Like it just was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's just, when they get to a certain point, it's like, that's why I like, shows that have, they say, yeah, we're going to be doing a 5-season arc. That's it. Or 3 or 4 seasons.
Which is more of a modern thing, especially in the streaming era, to be like, we're going to have this, and it's going to end.
We're not going to have like a Supernatural or Lost, where it's just like so many seasons. Well, Supernatural is like 15 episodes or seasons.
You just said Supernatural did a way better job than Lost.
But still, it was
yes, they did. Yeah,
but still, it was kind of like this is meandering all over the place. It's like, oh, now we have the big bad for this season. This is like, okay, we get it.
Yeah, but the reason that worked for Supernatural is that was the core of the show in the first place. The core of the show is this week's traveling roadshow monster.
Mm-hmm. Like I haven't got past like season 5.
No, but I mean, season 1, season 2, like the whole concept of the show is like every week you go visit a new town with a new monster, and they have
yeah, I'm not saying that's not a bad thing. It's just like every season, it's like, oh, now it's villain X is now the big bad for this season.
Yeah.
And now, we conquered him. Next season, it's another big bad. It's like, okay, but after 10 seasons, it's like, we have enough.
No, but okay, so you're missing my point though. That's the whole point of that style of show. It's the traveling circus. Like the whole thing is this week on MacGyver. Like that's like the style.
That's sort of what you call was too. The one with Mulder and Scully.
No, X-Files.
X-Files. Yeah, that's what the X-Files is basically like too.
This week is this other weird case. Like, and they would have like some kind of his sister or whatever, some kind of like other themes that were like longer running in the background, but like the gist of it is just like there's always going to be the next file, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Supernatural was written like the same way. There's always going to be the next thing.
Almost like a police procedural.
A what?
Like a police procedural show, but but more science fiction or horror or whatever. Yeah,
I've always described Secret World as like it's supernatural with like a little more Cthulhu overtones, like Cthulhu structure.
mythology stories. I think they called them
Because Supernatural is
X-Files.
set in modern time, but with like
Yeah.
every myth is true in some variation on the show, which is basically this same concept as Secret World.
Yeah, basically Secret World. Except for we're
I mean, no,
all
I mean,
superheroes, or basically.
It's modern and all myths are true in some version. Like there's some version of it in Secret World, right? It may not be like Secret World might be like, oh, actually vampires work this way, right? And like Supernatural would be the same way, like, oh, actually, like there's a myth that says this, but really they're like this, right? Like have their own version of them or whatever.
Grim is
yeah,
similar.
Monster of the Week. That's what I was thinking of. So again, I think that's also why Supernatural can run longer than something like Lost, because it's designed that way from the jump, right?
Yeah.
It's designed to be a weekly. This week's adventure is blah.
Star Trek too, yeah, along that same line.
Yeah, Star Trek, Stargate originally was like that too.
Yeah, but Lost, no, it wasn't like that. Lost was we have a story and we're just gonna stretch this as long as we can stretch this.
But it's also there's like 22 episodes per season too.
The problem was it did too well. They had an ending.
Well, they also got hit with the first writer strike at that time too. Like halfway through, I think was it 3 or 4 season.
I mean, okay, to be real, from what I remember of that was they had an ending, and they were too popular, so the show couldn't end. It was making too much money.
Yeah,
that's why it kept going. Not because they were like, "Oh, we have this much more story to tell." It's because literally they had an ending that they had planned, and like, "Oh, we can't do that because we need the show to keep going because the show's printing money." So, and then also because it was one of those shows where like we're smarter than you, you're never gonna figure out the ending. People guessed the intended ending.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, it's not that. It's not that.
No, that's not.
And they ended up, I think, not doing the intended ending again because of not so much that people guessed it, but because they couldn't end it, right? So,
it was all a dream.
But yeah, like the original ending that they didn't use, like people did guess, and they straight up lied and was like, "No, that's not it." like at that time, they didn't want to admit that like you could figure it out, right? Because I think a big part of that thing, big part of that show was the mystique, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? So if you figure it out, you also kind of take away a lot of
ruin that mystique. Yeah, that was a show where basically, having spoilers was just sort of ruin the experience in a way.
Well, again, I think because they relied on that, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't make the basis of your show like not being able to guess what's happening. I think that's a bad plan. Also, I think maybe just lazy. A little bit.
Cat, what are you doing?
No, I forgot my sound's all fucked up in Castle.
Thank you. Yeah, Cold Defense. Or not Cold Defense. Yes, he can preserve.
Like Castle, the volume, like the audio gets fucked for some reason. Like it's all kind of tinny and muted.
Ooh, that's
so
weird.
Like always, it always is. And I have to like
because you're in a castle.
No, but if you like turn off your audio and turn it back on, then it fixes it.
So I never noticed that, but
I mean, it could be it's
been a long time since I ran Seek and Preserve.
It also sometimes it can just silence your weapons where you just don't hear your weapon sounds at all. That's something else that can happen in scenarios. Sometimes.
It was when they put in the cat mission.
Oh, we got Rin, their kayak
Ruined
card
everything.
last night, actually.
Oh, last night? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I don't know
gonna
if Rin's
have.
actually attempted to go find the entrance to the mission yet or not.
Everyone's got to have a kayak card.
Yeah, it sounds weird as fuck.
Jimmy, Rin, and I mauled each other, and eventually the Kai lady spawned, and Rin got her card. Nice. That's always when you go do Rose and Brawl. Yeah, you're always like, who does not have the card? Don't touch her.
I was like, you're gonna need to go solo this. Go grab the heavy gloves.
Yeah. No one else touch her. So I think Rin said that they got well into Tokyo, so yeah. They're far enough along where they can do that.
Hey, Manga. In my stream. How's it going? Oh, I did not impair that in time. God damn it. I think this is the last. Oh, I don't know why I thought this was the last main mission I needed. I need 2 more after this. God damn it. I missed that impair again. No.
So well, that is all the news that I was able to find. Where Jimmy finishing up his 24-hour stream for Extra Life Day successfully. A tabletop RPG update that basically says the layout, we're working on it. Conan Exiles, Age of War Chapter 3, coming December 14th. They have the VOD up
With
for the
Miria. I'll say
Almaria.
No,
December 14th. Mariah Carey.
I'm just on the thing of Brady Bunch. Mariah.
Mariah. Right, Dune Spice Wars coming to Game Pass. It's already come to Game Pass, but it will come to arriving on Xbox Series S later on in the month. Dune Awakening has announced their closed beta signups.
Fuck yeah.
And other than that, no, I didn't find that much else.
It's also getting towards the end of the year, so there's not really much coming out. Except for the holiday stuff for Secret World. It should be mid-December.
Oh, that should be coming up. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
That should be coming up
Soon.
December 14th, 15th, sometime around there.
Noise.
So that should be relatively the start of the winter event. Last year it started on December 14th. The year before that, December 15th. The year before that, December 15th.
Nippleham.
So.
Nipplheim. Yep, that is what it is.
Yeah. You can't.
Super hell. On her way. She's on her way. She's defrosting as we speak.
along with Mariah Carey.
The fuck?
No, you don't see them in the same room at the same time. I think they're the same.
Ah,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a theory.
I mean, it's not a good one, but
Vommer says Winter Holidays daily login rewards on December 15th.
All right, you heard it here first.
already defrosted.
Already defrost. I did hear one of our local radio stations has already switched to all Christmas music.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's not terribly surprising.
And now I will basically be like, nope, I'm avoiding it. I avoid it all until Thanksgiving. Day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's when I start breaking out the Christmas decorations is after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So there are some that
I
have
like
already
wait till
done so.
halfway through December.
No, some
See,
people
I'm
I know
still in the-
I have already been putting up their Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our neighbors across the street have their lights and like a gingerbread family in the yard and stuff.
Oof. Wow. Already.
No.
Yeah. And up the street, I was taking the dog for a walk, and they have those snowmen in their yard. The ones that are like they light up at night. So like white, like kind of over like a wire frame.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
They're not like cloth or anything. They're just like a wire structure with like the white lights.
Mm-hmm.
We're walking by and the dog's like, it's like, I don't know what you are.
Like that's it looks vaguely human shaped.
It's human
Not
shaped
really.
and doesn't smell right. You start getting his little hackles up. It's like, what the fuck is this? No, sir.
Like, yep.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm just putting in my complaint with the managers.
What's up, man? Getting 2 IP tonight so far. Nice.
I'm always apt to be good. Yeah, the day after Thanksgiving. Like then, yeah, people want to do it. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's even fine if they do it beforehand. I don't really care that much.
Like,
rules are rules.
It's fine. I don't care. But true, yeah. No, I found this November was basically like it was like cleaning November. We're taking this month to clean, in between like right after October, or right after Halloween. It was basically all the time up until Thanksgiving is like cleaning time. So we've been going through organizing. I finally got a space cleared out that we haven't actually cleared out for like a decade.
I did that. What shit? When did I do that? I did that earlier this year. Maybe like August or something.
Okay.
Because I rented a dumpster.
I was this close to doing it.
No, I rented like
this close to renting a dumpster.
Not like a dumpster you see like like by the I don't know fast food place or something, but like a flatbed long.
Yeah.
Like
construction dumpster.
A construction dumpster. And they dropped it off, and I cleaned out the garage finally, which I hadn't done since we moved here like 6 years ago or whatever. like I still had stuff in it that had never been unpacked from when we moved from California, right? Like,
yep.
So I went through the garage and I filled that dumpster to the brim. Because you have like it has to not go over, or you get the top, or you get like charged extra if it like sticks up. So I like crush everything down. Like I filled that fucker. And now
We
you can
kind of
walk
have a
around in my
same.
garage.
So we have a current similar story. When we moved into the condo that we're in, we got like this space. That was it's apart from our unit, and it was just like I don't know, 10 by 7, 10 by 8 sort of space to put whatever we wanted, and then it went it had a lock on it and whatever. And so my wife originally was a computer teacher, or not computer, it was a teacher. She taught second grade or first grade, fourth grade, whatever. But she had all these supplies for teaching second grade. And so when we moved in, she was like, okay, and she moved them all into that space. And so that's literally all that was in there. It was basically all of her teacher stuff. And then her job switched to basically being a computer teacher, and she's been basically the computer teacher ever since. And so she hasn't needed any of it. And so once we had our son, we were like, we should really go in there and take a look and see what's there, and start moving some of the stuff, because we had to basically his room we basically use as storage, and then we can't use it as storage anymore because it's his room now. So
Yeah.
so we're like, we should
Hello,
really
I
go in there.
exist.
Yeah. He exists, so we can't use it anymore. So we have to and then I remember very early on, a couple of years ago, I went in and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go through, see what, take a look at everything in here, and let's really start cleaning this out. And I went in there and immediately noticed that there was a whole family of raccoons living in it.
Nice.
Like with a pretty giant raccoon, a pretty sizable raccoon, just wandering around. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, not right now. I'm not going to deal with this now.
Like, I'll be dealing with that later.
Yeah, not now. And I think I told like the front office, and I got them to at least, I don't know, get rid of the hole that was in there that they created. And then ever since then, it was just been like, I think I tried again, and it was a whole family of squirrels lived in there. So basically what was in there was just destroyed, essentially.
Yeah.
She even had like cardboard boxes filled with like stuffed animals. Forget it. It's just perfect nesting material.
Yeah, I didn't say
so.
Obviously, right? Like,
Yeah. But just last week, I was able to finally get in there and clear everything out. To go through to save like the small amount that you might still need now, and just get rid of all the materials of like, oh yeah, these were a whole stack of printouts of calendars from 2005. Yeah, we don't need those anymore. Yeah, all the stuffed animals that have been ripped to shreds. Yeah, no, they're gone. Everything's gone. So I finally got in there, and it was like, we cleaned it all out, and I was like, wow, the space is all cleaned out. It's been literally 10 years. It took us 10 years to clear out that entire space. And now that's cleared out, I'm like, my wife's like, wow, you must, feel like really accomplished from that. And I'm like, actually, I don't. Not really. Because now my brain just goes, okay, what can I fill it up with? Like, now it's finally available space. So I'm like, well, now I can finally start putting stuff out there. But it was a little accomplished, because once I finished it, I was like, I don't want to clean anything for like another 10 years. Is that good? Can I just...
You're like, that was my one.
Yeah,
I'm done.
That was it. I'm good now. But I was like, at that time after Halloween, before Thanksgiving, as like a cleaning time, I was like, that's actually pretty good. I like that. As a time to go through and clean everything right before the holiday starts. They can put everything up and then ignore everything for a good month or two. All right. So, well, as far as that goes, how do you feel about punting this over to Jimmy's stream? entirely.
Go for a field goal, or is this punting?
I don't like the
We
way
can
I'm
go for
being
3.
discussed. I'm not sure I like this verbiage.
Not sure where this analogy is going.
Yeah, we can
All right.
toss it over to him.
Agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 87-DAB. You can catch us recording live every first and third Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where can we find you online?
I would go to Linktree/Jimmy the Rabbit, where you can see all my thingamabobbers, which is the technical term.
You have them online?
All of them?
Yeah. No
All
charge
of
even.
Ooh.
Free thingamabobbers.
Got to get the free samples in there.
Man, you're selling
Waffle,
yourself
where can we
short.
find you online?
You can find me over at twotonwaffle.com. So all my stuff is
Where
there.
can we find your thingamabobbers?
And where is your thingamabobber found?
twotonwaffle.com, but you have to pay for them.
Behind a paywall.
Okay.
Behind a paywall.
And I'm Ocho, and you can find me here on Twitch and also Linktree/Big Mikey Ocho. I got into that Linktree. Got mine going.
Oh, did I say that I've been dual streaming since like the 24-hour stream? I don't remember if I said that.
You've been dual streaming?
Are you multi-stream?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Because now Twitch has made it so that
you can do that.
affiliates
You can
don't
do that.
necessarily have to stick to just Twitch. Right.
But I've been doing that
Yeah.
for like years, so whatever.
Mr. Pirate over there. Do
Yarr.
what I want.
But you can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on Twitter at 0 Point Report, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from the secret world. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.